This is Get Savvy, the podcast for people who want to claim back their time through the power of delegation, productivity, and automation. Welcome to season 4 of the Get Savvy podcast. I'm your host, Tisha, and I'm here with my co-host, Joe, for episode 49, 10 tasks to automate this month.
Yeah, it feels like it's been a long time. And Tisha was like, oh, should we actually say that we've just had 30 minutes of tech issues? And yes, because like even the savviest who clearly know tech, that's the business that we're in, can still have some tech issues and some loud fan issues and sound issues and lighting issues. But we are here back for another episode. So excited to talk about this one.
We got here. I'm sure that me rearranging my desk over the break had something to do with it. So, yeah, apologies for that, but we're here, so never fear. And I'm very excited to start this year with us talking about automation and giving you some real actionable things to begin the season with. Nice, hot and heavy.
Yeah, because I think sometimes people go, oh, cool, like I want to automate my business, but no one really talks about a very specific case or example of what you could actually do, which is technically quite simple if you know what you're doing. So we want to give you some real, tangible, like actionable things that you can automate.
Yeah, it's not a big strategy that's needed here. It's not a total systems overhaul. It's just 10 things that are costing you time and how to set them up so that they run in the background without you. So we're not replacing humans. That's not our aim. We want to replace repeatable tasks that are low value but high friction for you.
Yeah. We're talking about the kind of things that you say like, oh, it only takes me a few minutes. So it's just super quick and easy. But when you do them 12 times a week or, like every single month, every single day, suddenly, you've lost hours. So automating just one of these tasks could be the thing that gets you some hours back, because we want you to not focus on these repeatable tasks, these admin type things or things that can be automated. We don't want you to spend your time on that. We want you to spend your time on strategy, sales, following up people, building relationships, thinking about your business. Like how much thinking time do we actually give ourselves, right? Or sometimes just even to take a breath.
Yeah, and I'm sure you want to focus on that as well. So here are the 10 tasks, the 10 automations that we use at Savvy as well, and we recommend these for getting started. So the first one is calendar booking and confirmation emails. So when someone books a meeting with you, you can use Microsoft Booking, something like Calendly. There are a bunch of different tools you can Google or ask ChatGPT. It should automatically send a confirmation email, block out your calendar and put that meeting in there for you, as well as the person that's booked it, send them an invite. It should be able to, or it can add the link to a Zoom or Teams call if you're doing it online. And you could even go as far as adding it to your CRM or notify your team in Slack or something like that after all the rest of these actions have happened.
I mean, because how are we in 2026 and we still go back and forwards trying to coordinate a time? Like I catch myself doing it sometimes and I'm like, why am I doing this? I don't need to do this. So yeah, even just someone wanting to have a meeting with you and they contact you, sending them the link, getting them to book in, way faster.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to have the conversations that it's literally like just back and forwards for an entire week when you could have just booked it in. So we want to avoid that. You want to just set this up one time and then you're never going to have to go through that manual process again.
Cool. All right, number 2, lead capture into CRM.
So this one is when someone fills in a form on your website or downloads a free resource from your website. It's going to automatically add them to your CRM or your email list, whatever it is, wherever it is that you want to capture them. It's going to then tag them based on what action they've done here. So you might tag them to newsletter or email marketing list or something like that. And then it's also going to trigger a welcome email sequence. So you can easily do this in things like MailChimp or ActiveCampaign, or a lot of CRMs have this feature as well, like HubSpot. So yeah, as soon as they have been tagged, it will then trigger the first email, then say a week later, it will trigger the next one, and so on.
Which brings us to our third one, which is the welcome email sequences. And we recommend that every business has this. What you don't want is to have someone put in their details from your website or download something and they just get sent it and then nothing happens. Or they fill out, they want to go onto your newsletter list and then they get nothing. So when they fill out that form, they are expecting to go to their inbox to get something. So we need to be nurturing them right from the outset.
Yeah. So again, you can set this up within the MailChimps, the HubSpots, there are multiple different platforms. And this could be a number of different things as well. It could be giving them some information about your business and even giving them some kind of promo, kind of like Joe says, nurturing them, making them feel special from the beginning. Why should they care? So we do want to give them that value, especially in those first couple of emails. And you can also do things like highlight services or things like that. And just give some more info or whatever else you want to highlight about your business or your services.
Yeah. For new clients, so let's say the new client has just been added into your system, they've been tagged as a new client. There could be a flow that might look like maybe an introduction to your business and the team members they'll be working with. Maybe setting some expectations, like how does it actually work when they work with you? Maybe sharing some helpful next steps, any onboarding kind of warm fuzzies, promos, special rewards, just making them feel like a really valued person or business or, client. Those are some kind of ideas to get you started.
And that also brings me to our number 4. So that welcome sequence specifically for those new clients could be triggered from when a proposal is accepted. So triggers from accepted proposals is our next one. You can use a tool like Better Proposals, which is the one we use, Proposify, PandaDoc. There are so many out there. So when someone accepts a quote or signs a contract or a proposal, you can then use automation to send a notification to you or your team that proposal has been signed. You can then automatically send the client a welcome email to let them know the next steps of the onboarding. Or it could be sending them into that welcome sequence like we've just talked about. It could also then trigger a notification to your bookkeeper to set up a draft invoice in Xero, or even better, auto create a draft invoice in Xero. You could also set up tasks in your task management or create folders in Dropbox or whatever it is that you need to start setting up that client. You can start triggering those task setups or actually having some of those things start to happen.
Yeah. Okay, number 5 is our lead follow-up. So if you're a service-based business, when a potential client maybe submits a contact form or books a discovery call, this is when you could send an immediate like, hey, thanks very much, we've got your inquiry. This is, what's going to happen now, so that they know that it's been received and they feel like they are being nurtured, looked after, like they're important. It could trigger a follow-up email a couple of days later, maybe with some FAQs or a case study, maybe next steps. And then it could assign a follow-up task in your CRM or project management tool so that your salesperson or yourself knows that they need to follow up that inquiry.
Yeah, so we want to keep those leads warm, hot. That this takes a lot of the effort out for you or from you doing the legwork manually. So a little helping hand for you there. Next, we have auto scheduling social content. So we've talked about this one before. This one is one that you definitely should be doing. If you have social media accounts for your business, you should definitely be doing this instead of posting them all manually. All you need to do is use something. You can use Meta Business Suite itself for Facebook and Instagram, or you could use a tool like Later or Buffer. Again, there are a bunch of different ones out there. Your CRM may even be able to do this depending on what you're using. And so you just want to get the content that you're going to post anyway and batch schedule that content. So I would recommend doing it for a month or so, but you could do it week by week if you like, especially if you're putting out content that's keeping up with trends. You may want to do it in smaller batches. But yeah, all you need to do is click on the time slots that you want it to post and actually schedule those in so that you don't have to log in every day to just quickly post something. Because again, this is one of those, it only takes me 2 minutes type tasks, but really, how much time is it actually costing you?
And it's not just the time, it's like the headspace of changing to that task, getting in the headspace of that and then doing that. Is it like context switching? I think they call it. It's, it takes actually a lot of brain energy to switch context to something else, even though it might take you only a couple of minutes to actually do the task. Next one, number 7, is invoice follow-ups and payment reminders. You should not be doing this manually anymore. Xero has had this out for a very long time, where it can automatically send reminders before the due dates, can send overdue payment emails, and it can have a sequence where they get progressively more direct and have a different kind of message. And then thank you emails if you receive a payment. So we don't want you to manually chase late payers. We want you to have that email sequence set up automatically.
Yeah, it really helps.
Actually, our accountant has a really good email sequence for their overdue. I think it's the third reminder says that please expect a call from our debt collector with the specific name and company of the person if this is not paid in the next 24 hours or something. And it really makes you go, oh shit, I need to actually pay that bill and get it sorted. So it definitely works.
Yep, that's great, rather than it just being a big open email.
Yeah.
All right. Number 8 is expense matching and receipt filing. We really want you using something like HubDoc with Xero so that you can take photos of your receipts, and then now Xero has the power to AI auto match the receipts to bank feeds and pre-fills entries for reconciliation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's another thing you don't need to be doing manually.
And HubDoc comes with your Xero subscription, so it's not an extra cost. Okay, number 9 is message alerts for key actions. So if something happens in your business and it's important that your team gets notified somehow that has happened, I have these set up in all of my businesses. I've always had this because I want to see every new sale, every new client, every new lead. I want to get notified that has happened or that a proposal has been signed, we've received a review, all of those kind of things. If you have something like Slack or Teams or some kind of internal messaging platform, you can set up an automation that triggers when a sale is made or a lead is received or a proposal is signed, that it then sends a message in a specific Slack channel that you set up or a Teams channel you set up, and it just says, hey, this person has just signed their proposal, or you've just made $50 sale or $1,000 sale, whatever. And so if you're into the woo-woo, this is really good for manifesting. So seeing the results come in of new sales is really good for the energy that puts into the world, puts into your business, and keeps that momentum going. So I love seeing especially the new sales come in. So often it's also helpful too that then a team member actually has to do something. So if they get notified really quickly and easily in the internal messaging platform, they can then be triggered to go off and do whatever they need to do.
Rather than you and them relying on them having to go and check that tool manually once a day or however many times a day. Yeah, that's just really annoying. I'd also like to make a special mention here to Slack, because Slack's been doing the automation messages, especially. Are they called Slack bots? We haven't used Slack in a while. Yeah, but they've had them around forever, and there are a bunch that you can set up. So if you're using Slack, please go and check them out if you're not already using them.
Yeah. So like little AI team members in your Slack channel.
Yeah, they're awesome. You can even have ones that like remind you to get up from your desk or do a little workout, and they send you some exercises to do. So yeah, very cool.
Because I think that this also helps keep the inboxes small, like we just don't need extra emails, and you should never be sending internal emails. You should be doing this inside your internal messaging platform. So reduces those emails as well.
All right. Number 10, we have feedback collection after a project, or testimonials. So when a job wraps up, you want it to trigger an email to the client, probably thanking them to start with, and then also with some kind of feedback form, whatever that is. It might be asking them to do a Google review or some kind of other testimonial platform that you have. And then when that form is submitted, ideally it will, if it's not already posting it to say Google, it will auto-create the testimonial draft post for you. So you basically go in, check that client isn't talking smack about you, and then hit post.
Post to where, teacher? Where are you meaning?
For us, we have a platform that we use, and then we push it through to our homepage on our website. So we've got it linked in there. But like I said, if you're just using Google reviews or something like that, which are obviously great for your business as well, then the client will be posting them manually anyway. Right. So either works.
Cool.
And Joe has a little bonus for you.
I do. So Jax is the Just Ask Xero AI integrated tool into all the Xero accounts. So this is being rolled out to Xero users at the moment, and I have turned on Jax, asking it to auto-reconcile transactions in some of my Xero accounts. What it does is it learns what you do in terms of reconciling. So if there are transactions like, I don't know, easy things that don't need a receipt attached or an invoice matched, things like, it might be your bank fees is an easy example. Every month you reconcile your bank fees to whatever code, etc. Jax will learn that, and then it will auto-reconcile those things. You can go in and you can still see and review what the AI has done, so that you can see the auto-reconcile transactions. But then, over time, it'll learn more and more about how you manage your Xero account and do it for you.
Very cool feature. We've been waiting for it for a while. All right. Now, we've been through the 10 with your bonus one there from Joe. We don't want you to feel overwhelmed. All you need to do is start with just one of these. You don't need to have a big list of things. Just, really break it down. Start with one. Most of these automations that we've been through today as well can be done natively within the tools themselves. So unlike we were talking about, if you're using Slack, you can set up these automations within Slack. When you're using Xero, you can set it up within Xero for the majority of these anyway. So just start with one, set it up this week, and claim back some of your time. Feel how good it feels when you set that automation live as well. I always get a little buzz when I set one live, and that makes you want to set up more anyway. So enjoy.
Maybe it gives you a little dopamine hit, but a really positive way of getting a dopamine hit.
Yeah, I honestly think it does. So I'm quite happy with that. If I could set one up a week and get that little hit, then yeah. And if you do want a hand setting up any of these automations or any others, then we would love to help you. You can book a call with us over at strictlysavvy.co.nz. And don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the Get Savvy podcast.